it's Paola and welcome to my Backlist Readathon vlog slash recap slash weekend vlog. So, it is Friday the 13th and the Readathon started on Monday 9th and I am just now filming a vlog because I've been a little busy. I don't know why I pronounced it like that, I'm sorry. A lot of things have happened, not only in my life but also like in general, so I want to dial it back all the way to Sunday, March 8th, International Women's Day, because even though the readathon didn't start on Sunday the 8th, my life significantly changed that day and I wanted to share the story. On Sunday, March 8th, there was a protest against violence against women in Mexico. Cities all over the country organized themselves so that women and other people would march with us. I personally went to the one in Mexico City. It started from the Monumento a la Revolución and it went all the way through Avenida Juárez and it ended at the Zócalo Capitalino. I was very, very excited to be able to go to the protest because protesting is something I have been wanting to do for a couple of years now, but I was never allowed to because my mom just was not into that. And the last thing I want to do is worry my mom by putting myself in a situation where it is known that you can get hurt. Not because the protests turned violent, I mean they have, but it's not just that, but also because sometimes a lot of protests turn into chaos and that chaos could harm me, and I'm obviously important to my mom, and so I didn't want to worry her even more by insisting. But I think the situation in my country reached a level where I couldn't just sit around anymore. And even though I wasn't sitting around because I wanted to, I really wanted to get out there and use my voice because I have a voice. And it's important that I use it whenever I can for something that I believe in and for something that I think it's very, very important that we protest against. One day I hit rock bottom and I told my mom that I wanted to go and she was like, fine. And then I made sure that she meant that it was fine for me to go. And she was like, you know what, I don't really agree with you going, but if you want to go, go. And I was like, okay, so I'm going. And one of my best friends has gone to, I think, 4 or 5 protests by now, so she knows her thing. And so we sort of organized ourselves to go to the protests with another one of my friends. We agreed to meet at her house, and then we would take public transport all the way to Monumento a la Revolución. We had to take the subway. And there we met some other friends. I met one of my childhood best friends there and a couple of her own friends, a couple of friends that I met through my best friend's boyfriend, and we were ready to go. The protest was supposed to start at 2:30 or something like that, but there were so many people and nobody was moving because, again, there were a lot of people. I'll put pictures here so that you can get an idea of just how many people were at El Monumento a la Revolución. But I read a little bit about what happened that day, and 1 hour before the protest was supposed to start, relatives and friends of the women who have been murdered and the women who have disappeared over the last couple of years went to El Zócalo and started painting in white the names of their loved ones. Oh God. I really don't want to cry, but I feel like I can't stop it. A lot of people brought shoes to represent the women that are no longer with us. And yeah, I'll put some pictures here so that you can see what it was like. And then we started marching, and we started chanting, and it was incredibly empowering to see so many women together, protesting together for our safety. It's something that I never thought I would have to do, and it's something that I don't think we would have had to do if family, society, and the government did what they had to do. Families and society, by reprimanding the people who perpetrate these acts, more specifically men, because the protest was specifically about violence against women. I think it's up to all of us to reprimand men who perpetrate these horrendous actions, to call out men who have been exposing themselves with shitty, sexist, and misogynistic behavior, and to raise better men. But it's also up to the government to give these men the consequences that they deserve. Yeah, things are really, really shitty, and they only seem to get shittier for women in Mexico. And it honestly scares me to death. And it's not just because of me or because of my sister or because of my friends, because I know that my friends and my sister and me are not as vulnerable as other women, like, Black Mexican women, poor Mexican women, indigenous women, disabled women, trans women, in general, anyone that has like an intersecting identity. I know that they are more vulnerable than me and the women that I know. But it's still really, really scary, because I don't have to know those women personally to know that they didn't deserve to die, to know that they didn't deserve to die in such horrible, horrible circumstances. And I couldn't keep quiet anymore. And I was really, really hoping that I wouldn't start crying in the middle of the protest, because it was incredibly empowering, and the sense of empowerment and solidarity and sort of sisterhood was unbelievably overwhelming, that I was like, oh God, I hope I don't crumble right now, because it's just, I'm feeling so many things in my heart. I don't know what else to say other than it was a massive protest, incredibly empowering. Here are a couple of pictures of, graffiti and things that were broken. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like I have to talk about them because a lot of people reprimand their actions. You know what? I'm gonna say they reprimand our actions, because whenever we saw someone painting on the wall, or when we saw someone trying to break a crystal or something like that, we would shout "Fuimos todas," which means it was all of us. So yeah, they reprimand our actions because they don't think that's the way to do it. But I don't know what other way there is to do it. We have done everything we can. We spread awareness in social media. Women write songs, women go to the police, women do everything in their power to get treated the way that we should be, like human beings. And society and the government just won't fucking listen. So what else is there to do? Let's see if by painting on the wall and breaking things and, demolishing whole monuments, maybe then they will listen to us. I think that's what the paint and the broken windows represent. The things that men have done to women, to Mexican women, for such a long time, and how nobody does anything. And yet people are more concerned about the way the monuments look than the women who have been murdered. And it's honestly the most heartbreaking, but also the most enraging thing that I can think of. That happened on Sunday. Those were my feelings. Sorry about crying. But on Monday, we women had to do the complete opposite. I think it had been 3 weeks that women were planning this. So women were supposed to stay at home, not go to school, not do their jobs, not even work from home. We weren't even supposed to be on social media. And women who couldn't do that, women who couldn't stay home, women who couldn't not go to school and stuff like that, in solidarity of everything that was happening, would have to use some kind of purple accessory or a purple shirt, purple pants, purple shoes, purple whatever, in solidarity of the movement. Yeah, it was to raise awareness that this country just does not and will not work without women. Let's move on to happier things, please, because I can feel my serotonin levels like just decreasing per second. Tuesday, I was watching Degrassi. I am on season 10. And oh my god, I don't know what it is about me or about the show that I'm just not enjoying it as much as I used to. But whatever, I still really enjoy it, and I still really want to get to where the characters from Degrassi Next Class are introduced, to rewatch Degrassi Next Class, because that's the Degrassi generation that introduced me to Degrassi in the first place, and I loved it. Anyway, I was working on planning my classes because, as I've mentioned before, I taught French class, and then just as I was about to leave the house so that I could go print the things, I got a call, and the person that hired me was like, due to coronavirus, the dad was sort of made to cancel the trip, so we won't be needing your services for the time being. We will let you know if we want to rehire you, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't like a big income, but it was some extra money that I really could use. But I understand the severity of the situation wholeheartedly, so I wasn't mad about it. On Wednesday, I don't know what was happening to me, but I was feeling so unbelievably exhausted. I woke up at like 7 in the morning, started working on the translation. There were 45 pages where I had to check that the translation was done well. And every 5 pages, I just couldn't help but take a nap. And it was so annoying to me because I needed to get that thing done by noon. And I wasn't able to do it because I was just not, my brain was just not cooperating. Sorry, I stumbled over my words there. But my brain was too focused on trying to get me to sleep. I also managed to go to a school. It's like a therapeutic center kind of for kids with learning disabilities, and I went there because I have to do a project which is due tomorrow. But I asked the boss if I was able to go, and she was like, yeah, sure. It was fantastic. I had a lot of fun, and I got a little gig out of that, which was great. She was like, if you do a good job, if you show me that you're interested in working with me and with the kids, I will keep you. And I was like, yes, I am into it. I really, really want this. That's what I'm going to university for, or I want to do this. And she was like, okay, then you're welcome here. On Thursday, oh my god, Thursday was just the most exhausting day ever. I did the laundry and I did my chores. Oh my god, I felt so freaking accomplished, but my legs were hurting like hell. So I was like, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna read a little bit, and then after I read, I'm gonna go upstairs and work out. But that moment never came because I was just so unbelievably exhausted. I mean, doing chores and laundry and folding laundry and stuff like that should count as as a workout. I don't care what anybody says. And then because I hadn't made any progress with my TBR, I finally decided to sit down and marathon the book that I wanted to read. So let's talk about the Backlist Readathon and the challenges. The Readathon started on Monday and it's supposed to end on Sunday the 15th. The hosts are Gabby, Chandler, Jacqueline, Emily, Zoe, and Melanie. I will leave all the information down below so that you can check all of their channels. And the challenges were to read the shortest backlist title, read the backlist title that intimidates you the most, read a backlist title you added because of someone else's recommendation, read a backlist you are most excited for, read a diverse backlist book, LGBT, mental illness, author of color, etc. Read a backlist with blue on the cover. I wanted to read 2 books from the Lying Games series by Sarah Shepard, 3rd and the 4th book. And I also wanted to read another book, which I will talk about shortly. So far, I have only finished 1 book, which I am really excited about, don't get me wrong. I just wish I had done better at organizing the mess that is my mind. Today, I woke up at like 6:45 in the morning because I really desperately wanted to finish 2 Truths and a Lie by Sarah Shepard. And I did it. I finally freaking did it. I think the only challenge that this would tick off would be the one about reading a backlist title with blue on the cover. And also maybe a backlist title that you were really excited about, because it is the 3rd in a 6-book series and I'm just like dying. I'm not gonna talk about this much because, you know, spoilers, but the Lying Game series is about twins. What am I saying? It's about Emma, basically, who grew up in Nevada as a foster kid, and she finds out that she has a twin sister. They agree to meet where the twin sister lives. Her name is Sutton, and she lives in Tucson, Arizona. So Emma goes there, and then she gets a note saying that Sutton is dead, and she has to take her place, otherwise something bad is gonna happen. And so Emma does as she's told, and it goes on from there, and it's a murder mystery, and it's been 3 books, and every time I think it's someone, it's never that person. I have already figured out how these book series is working, but every time it fools me. I'm like, okay, I know this person didn't do it, and then it's like, wait, but didn't they? Oh my god, I need to know. And then they don't do it, and it's like, oh, I need to know. I have a feeling I know who it is because of things that are in this book, and I'm getting really anxious because, man, if that person that I think who did it actually did it, I'm gonna be heartbroken. But you know, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I've never been this worried about a book in my whole life. Anyway, so I wanted to read the 4th book in the Lying Game series, but I actually think I'm going to start reading All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is a book that has caused a lot of controversy because of the mental health representation in it. I've seen a whole lot of people criticize the book for glamorizing mental illness, for having the trope that love saves you, and for making like the characterization all about the mental health or the mental illnesses that the characters are dealing with. However, I saw one review on Goodreads that completely opened my mind, and I was like, okay, I think I'll give the book a go before I watch the movie. The review basically said that, yeah, people had a right to criticize the novel, but they felt deeply represented by the exact thing that people were criticizing the book for, which was the way that mental illness represented the characters, and only that. I don't know if I'm speaking clearly, but basically people were saying that the characters were pretty much no one outside of their mental illnesses, and this person said, yeah, you have a right to do that, but I felt deeply represented by that because I didn't know who I was outside of my mental illness. My mental illness was consuming me. And I was like, wow, I feel that. I feel that a lot, actually. I haven't read the book, but that comment made so much sense to me because of what I had gone through when I was 17 years old and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And I am going to give it a go. I just don't know when, because I have my final project due tomorrow and I haven't started it yet. So I'm going to go do that.